Hi everyone, I'm Mark Williams and I'm a strength and conditioning coach as well as a lecturer here at Writtle. I'm going to take you through a few exercises, real basic exercises, but ones that serve a great purpose, and that's to contribute towards reducing injuries. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to look at is a movement pattern called the squat. I'm sure you've all heard of this one before, but it's a really key athletic movement pattern that we want to get right. And I've got 3 rules for you. First one is we want to keep our chest nice and proud. The second one is we want our heels nice and flat to the floor at all times. And the third one is wherever you place your feet, your knees will follow your toes. So I'll show you this from front on to start with. Okay, so pattern number 2 is our hip hinge. So this one here, different from the squat, we're not going to bend at the knees, but we are going to fold at the hips, hence the name hip hinge. So I'll show you this from side on. Again, I want to keep my chest nice and proud and my heels flat to the floor. I'm just going to soften at the knees, so unlock your knees, and then the rest of the movement is coming from the hips. So here, I'm going to push my hips backwards. I get to a position where I can really feel my hamstrings are locking me into position here, almost like a stretch, and then I come back through into a nice and upright standing position. And I'm going to repeat that pattern in the same way. Okay, so pattern number 3. This is our split squat. So far I've given you 2 exercises where you're working 2 limbs at the same time. But this time we're going to challenge you in your balance and coordination with a single leg exercise. So what I'm going to do here, if I stand side on, I'll send one foot backwards. Okay, and then it's all about this front leg that's doing the work. So from here, again, similar rules. Chest stays proud, heel stays flat, and my knee is in line with my toes. Then I'm just going to work up and down on the spot. On to our next pattern. So far, we've moved in one plane of motion. So this time I'm going to change that up because in the sports you're involved in, of course, we're going to move in different directions. So this time we're looking at a lateral lunge. So again, chest stays proud. This time I'm going to step out to the side and then allow my hips to lower. So if I show you that in full time, so I lower myself here and then push back to the middle. I can either then work the other side, or I can continue to work on the same leg. If you're beginning this for the first time, I suggest focusing on one leg. So do 5 repetitions, for example, and then switch to the other side and complete 5 repetitions there. Okay, so the next exercise I've got for you is a side up. So essentially we're taking a side bridge or a side plank position and we're making it a dynamic exercise. This is really important in terms of knee injury prevention. So we want to be strong around our knee with our leg muscles, but also we want to be strong in our torso as well. So to do this exercise, as I say, side bridge position. So a nice straight line from my shoulder through to my ankle, and then from here I lower my hips down towards the mat and then raise back up. I'm going to repeat that for 5 to 10 repetitions. Okay, after you've completed on one side, switch and move straight to the other side for another 5 to 10 repetitions. Okay, so really important is our core. I'm sure we've heard of that before, but also included in that is our upper limbs, or our arms, and what we're doing there. So what we're going to look at now is a plank position where I'm fixing here to here, but also I'm going to then move one arm, and it's challenging my strength in my shoulders as well as my core to maintain a strong position. So I'll show you what this looks like. So this position here, push-up position, and then I'll raise one hand and touch the opposite shoulder. And I'm trying to maintain a nice straight and flat back position. If that's really challenging for you, an earlier kind of progression, if you like, is to be on my forearms and do the same thing. So carrying on with the theme of working our shoulders and also being in a nice strong postural position, what I'm looking at here is taking that hip hinge that we looked at earlier on. I'm going to find that position, my chest, I'm trying to get towards being parallel to the floor, and then I can feel my hamstrings holding me in position here. And from there, I'm going to raise my arms up. And imagine you're making a Y shape, letter Y. So if I turn the front on, you'll see I'm taking my arms up on a diagonal pattern. And that's challenging some of the structures around the rear of the shoulder to help give overall shoulder health. Okay, so our last exercise, really important. We're looking at landing mechanics. So netball players, rugby players, anyone where you're going to be airborne and need to land, but also any athlete where you're changing direction. A really important exercise, and what we want to do is be able to be in control of those landings. So I'll show you what this one looks like. It's called a hop and hold. So initially, don't worry about distance, just hop and look at being in control of that landing. So with that landing, the key thing to focus on is holding the position. So once you've landed, try and stick that position, be nice and strong, and the key thing there is that we want to keep that chest nice and proud, stay nice and upright in our torso, and then this will be a challenge. My knee on the first repetition for sure was shaking. It is a challenging exercise. Over time, once you feel that you've got more control there, more stability, you can start to add distance and really start to challenge yourself when you're landing across a larger distance where you've got more force to deal with.